Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the Netherlands for the World Championships. This is a match from round 17 of the round robin in the Bermuda Bowl between USA2 and Bulgaria. Normal procedure is that play in this room will start about 10 minutes later than all the other matches, because the organizers want to make sure that everyone is seated before they display the cards in the Vugraph theatre. Our operator is R17. And with me in the commentary box now I have Bill Frisby from England. Good afternoon, Bill.
Hello, good afternoon everyone.
In a minute or two we should also be joined by Barnet Shenkin from USA. I hear that we are getting Grue and Justin Lall as north-south in this room.
They're having an excellent tournament, certainly. I mean, both team-wise and pair-wise in the butlers, although Justin Lall actually said specifically on the Bridge Base forums that he refuses to discuss the butler scoring or even look at them because he thinks it's damaging to the team cohesion for all the pairs to be sort of saying how well they're doing individually, which is a very reasonable point. But I think if you do take an interest in that, they're doing pretty well.
So it's about time for Bulgaria, if they are to stand any chance of qualifying. They've had a disappointing 2 or 3 days now.
Morning. Good morning all.
Good morning, Barnet. Welcome to Barnet Shenkin from Florida.
Oh, good morning. Yeah, it's very early morning for you. That's very early by my standards.
Well, 7:45 isn't too bad. Barnet is an early riser, isn't that correct, Barnet?
Not always.
So how well do you know Grue and Lall, Barnet? Because we're getting them in this room.
Had the pleasure of playing with Justin Lall a couple of years ago. Played a couple in a few tournaments. Nice chap, very nice chap, and a very good player, obviously. And Joe Grue is very well known for his exploits at the table.
Barnet, can I just...
a very confident player. And his usual partnership up until last year was with Curtis Cheek, and they did very well. So Grue and Lall are a relatively new partnership, having just really started at the last American trials, when they put together this young team who've done exceptionally well.
Barnet, your sound isn't as good as it was yesterday and the day before. Did you make anything different?
Didn't quite catch that, Roland.
Well, I can understand that because we can hardly understand what you say. Perhaps you could exit from BBO and come back. It often helps.
Okay, I will. I'll try that.
Well, then he has to exit. Play started in the closed room now, so with some luck we will get all the comparisons in this room.
Does anyone know who the Bulgarian pair are going to be in this room?
I can tell you that Hurd and Woolrich are east-west against Stefanov and Aronov in north-south in the other room. So I know about the American pair here, but not the Bulgarians. But I'm asking the operator now, Roland Hop, and he should be able to tell us. They're in the room, and Roland tells me, I will know in a moment, I don't recognize the faces. No matter what, we will see precision played by all, or both pairs here rather. Now I got the lineup. Kalin, Karainov west and Rumen, Trendafilov east. You got that card, Bill?
Yeah, just having a look over it.
Is that better, Roland?
Oh, it's about 319% better.
I switched tops actually.
That helped a lot.
Good.
Good. And as I just said before you re-entered Barnet, we are getting two pairs playing precision here, with Trendafilov, Karainov, east-west.
So north-south player, a relatively simple, strong club, 5 club majors, 14 to 16 no trump and a fairly loose 1 diamond opener. 2 clubs is natural with limited hand and 6 or more clubs, and 2 diamonds is a 3-suiter with short diamonds. An east-west play, a more complicated system where their bids to some extent depend on vulnerability, but it's a sort of a Polish club style system where one club can be a lot of hands, including some very strong hands. East-west also play a variable no trump, so they play a 9 to 12 no trump in some positions, and which might cause some swingy auctions.
Do the Americans play that one hard response to one club opening as 8 to 11, denying 5 spades?
Yeah.
Okay, here we have the Bulgarians playing USA2, strong club for north-south.
I mean, Grue is very sort of aggressive and imaginative, but the north-south pair have explicitly on their convention card that they are very sound weak 2 bidders, so you won't even for a moment consider opening that 2 spades.
With a lot of transfers and unusual methods.
So 3 diamonds.
I never saw anything to consider actually. Opening 2 spades.
It's often the way that
Well, some do, Barnet.
There are some pairs that would consider it. Certainly some of the Australian pairs might well be. But
this board has been played in 4 hearts at, I think...
Interesting here what the double 3 diamonds should mean. I mean, it looks as though Grue is doubling 3 diamonds as a takeout of hearts. I mean, when people make artificial bids to show raises, it's always worthwhile having firm agreements whether your double shows the suit actually bid, or whether it's takeout of their fit that they've implied. I mean, there is sometimes you might want it either way.
So the winning lead in that was a club.
Yes.
A club would have won 2 imps for the north-south pair, but He started with a diamond, which would probably the same lead in the other room. And the declarer is able to pitch his losing clubs on the ace of spades with the queen of spades coming down in 3.
But if double of 3
on the
diamonds,
jack of spades as South roughs in too late, so
it seems that South took the double of 3 diamonds was for diamonds, not for takeout.
exactly, I'm going to say that, because if it was a takeout double, Lall would have led a spade, wouldn't he?
Or a club. He would certainly have led a black suit. He'd have led something where he had an honour in rather than something he didn't have an honour in.
Sweet. No swing on board 1. Board 2. Now we have the proper names, by the way. In the closed room, Stefanov for Bulgaria opened a strong...
Are we getting a 14-16 no trump here? No.
it's 15 to 17 in third and fourth. I mean, it's sort of similar to Max Rodwell style.
Opening a diamond and East making a takeout double. Obviously East subscribes to the theory that if you pass on the first round, nothing bad can happen to you if you bid on the subsequent round. And facing a past partner, somebody who couldn't act non-vulnerable in third seat, it really doesn't seem to me that you need to enter the auction here.
East can quite happily double 1 diamond there with 4-4 in the majors because he's a passed hand, so his partner knows he can't have very much more than he actually has. 1/2 is the transfer to spades. I don't know if a spade promises 3 there. I suspect it. It does,
you
but
would certainly expect West to take his partner moderately seriously.
So Karainov pretty much knows that they are on a 4-3 fit. I suspect that Lall would have raised to 2 spades if he had 5 of them.
Dixon is known for the extent of his vocabulary. Can you select the adjective that you would have...
I would have thought double of 1 spade describes West Ham quite nicely, but I mean a no trump is okay, even without very much in spades, because obviously he expects his partner to have something in spades with a double of a diamond.
Insane when it fails. So here we are in 1 no trump. North.
These sort of hands where the points are split fairly evenly and or not too asymmetrically, and there's not much shape. It's often a race to 1 no trump, so whichever side gets to bid 1 no trump first
And if declarer ducks in
will be better off.
South play low, might his partner have king jack 7 of spades, in which case that would not be such an inspired play.
See, North made 9 tricks and no trump. Seems a lot of tricks. 9 tricks, 2 over tricks.
I mean, perhaps he got a spade lead to the jack, and that jack and king, and that sort of helps him on his way, doesn't it? I think if South had bid a no trump over a spade, that would have ended the auction. And he's got enough values that was a consideration, but perhaps with those red suits, you know, he really doesn't want to bid a no trump and then have the lead coming through his partner's red honours.
They made 150 on a spade lead, and I think they're going to get out for down 1. Defenders have 3 spades, 2 hearts and 2 clubs, if they can take them.
Well, may be able to get out for 1 down here.
worked very well and very speedily defended by Joe Grue. He set up his side's club winners, put South in to play a spade to his king, and another spade meant one down, but still 3 imps, I think, for Bulgaria.
It's one down.
All thanks to that enterprising double of one diamond.
Two imps to Bulgaria.
3.
3
Yeah.
imps.
Board 3, still in play in the closed room.
It's generally the case that a no trump is easier to play than to defend, so
From north in third seat. Take
Are we
East West
getting
make
another
more tricks playing a no trump there than they could
suppose might have thought about
defending a no
passing
trump
it
in
out.
the other room.
3 clubs, so they're in a 4-3 fit at the 3 level. 2 spades, 2 hearts, a diamond and a club to lose. Down 1 would be an excellent result.
2 hearts.
So we've
The
got
final destination. I would think. No, decides
Up
to
to the-
pass 2 diamonds.
And here, north-south appear to be on their way to playing a
It's a lot
4-3
easier to
fit.
pass 2 diamonds on that
Chris and Ian
south hand playing a strong club system. You know your partner can't have more than 15 high card points, so you don't want you're not
we've caught
concerned
up
with
to the
giving
closed
false
room
preference.
Now. You see,
would
it's
you
interesting.
consider either passing
Should
or
give
spinning
preference to
neutral?
2 hearts.
Any thoughts?
I mean, in playing standard methods, I think there'd be the additional reason that you'd want to give preference to hearts, just because partner might have a 16 or 17 count,
Rather that the auction had come
and
to
you
an
might
end.
have game on.
Somebody who could not open.
I mean, perhaps you should do anyway, but
Maybe you should be cutting your losses.
I wouldn't pass,
Okay.
but the doubleton, nah.
Would you consider bidding a no trump?
Well, pass is right every time partner is 5-5,
Just twisting
and
around
wrong
and giving
if he
it
is
up.
6-4.
What would you bid with the north cards?
I would probably pick 2 diamonds.
I think I might prefer one to trump.
So US team are playing this in the 4-3 fit in both rooms. 2 diamonds here and 3 clubs in the other room. In the other room it was 2 hearts, pass, pass, double, pass, 3 clubs. So Bulgaria like us in the closed, and
So
they're likely to go plus here.
club.
They do sometimes say that when the auction suggests a trump lead, as this one does, it's only
Well,
when
provided that Trendafilov goes up the ace of clubs, otherwise the club will disappear on the queen of spades.
Maybe one down. Because 2 spades, 2 hearts,
But maybe he didn't play a club after all. We had an undo.
one club rough.
you may be thinking about roughing a heart to hand and just throwing a club from dummy on the queen of spades, isn't it?
This is
Avoid
exactly
losing.
what Declarer needed. Oh. Another undo.
What about 3 clubs in the other room?
I think.
I mean, he's
That
surely
one.
rising, he must know the...
Has lost the play, yeah.
can see
He
the
knows.
danger.
Yeah.
I mean, he's seen North has two spades and he bid a heart, 2 diamonds, so he knows he can only have 2 clubs at most.
First play, we don't
I mean, he's
for the heart.
certainly going to be flying in with the ace of clubs on a club lead.
I guess it should go two
Looked
down.
like it went
yes.
2 down, yes.
So, America conceded 200 in the other room and another 100 here,
Have two
or 7
losers,
imps.
two heart losers. And a diamond and a club. Or, no, I think that's what you have.
Right, both tables going in
6-2 fits in a major can sometimes be difficult to reach, but you would think that
looks like
pairs at this level oughtn't to have any problems
game for Eastworth.
getting to 4 hearts here.
May
Straightforward.
have to guess.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit guessing have to be done in spades. But
Yes, they have to avoid 3-note trumps.
For many
So
people,
sure.
2 hearts there would not promise a 6th heart.
Make, isn't it?
but there's a diamond. Yes,
And
there's a
if you do bid 2
potential
hearts there on
diamond.
6, then you're stuck and you have
Diamond
to
lead.
make awkward bids. For example, if you've just got a minimum hand with 5 hearts and 4 clubs, you might have to bid 3 clubs or something, which uses up a lot of space and is very awkward.
But Karainov still bids 3 hearts now.
Yeah, Western just bid 3 hearts now, surely.
Well, he should really, because they can always get to 3-note trumps if that is the contract.
No, of course, yeah. I mean, 3 diamonds. 3 diamonds is best actually. I mean, that gives partner room to bid 3 hearts.
Exactly.
And this is one area of bidding where sort of inexperienced players definitely go wrong on auctions like this. I say a lot of club players will tend to bid 3-note trumps much too fast. So on this auction, some people sitting west will say, "Oh, I've got a spade stop. You know, I've got to stop in the on bid 2. I'll just bid 3-note trumps." But you can always get to 3-note trumps if it's right. And in auctions like this, you don't want to bid 3-note trumps unless you know it's definitely right. So you can take a bit of time here, and there's lots of room. You say you can show some diamond support, and then partner can show some heart support if he wants, and there's still room for people to just bid 3 spades as a sort of a last train try, saying, okay, you know, I'm not sure, do we want to play in 3-note trumps? So if all your partner cares about is whether you've got a spade stop or not, there's no danger that you're gonna miss 3-note trumps. There's never any need to rush into 3-note trumps.
So 4 hearts hasn't not been defeated anywhere yet.
Except in.
Oh yes, once.
Yeah, the danger here is that you take the club finesse, a singleton diamond comes back,
It's going to make it
and you go down.
impossible.
Ah,
So you have to rise now
They win
in order to make.
you're going to have to win the ace.
It's a guess, really, because if you rise, you're actually going to go on the spade guess, and if the club finesse was not working, then you wouldn't need that guess. So probably the normal play is to play the jack.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
it sort of partly comes down to who's got the ace of hearts, of course. I mean, yes, if you refuse the club finesse and then South's got the ace of hearts and puts a spade through, then you might go down in a makeable
Both
contract
win
if the
lead.
club was right
That's
all
been
the
the
time.
ace of spades, and I think
I mean, if you knew that North had the ace of hearts, then you'd probably just rise with the ace of clubs, because then the spades are going to be protected anyway, and you've got time to get things away on diamonds, assuming diamonds break. I think taking the club finesse is sort of reasonable.
Now the dealer has 6.
But if it came
Take
down
the
to a
club
spade guess,
If he has 6 hearts, king,
okay, Barnet, go on.
and ace of spade, there is
Take
no
the contract. And if club finesse is off, then North ace of hearts, win the ace of hearts, play,
if he has
and then
king,
a spade
16
Yeah.
hearts
so
and ace king of spade. Either it doesn't matter if you play
get in, and any of
it's
winning the ace of
We're losing you every other second, Barnet. Are you sure you're pressing
Sorry,
the key constantly?
yeah, sorry.
Three, no trouble.
Yeah, what I said was that if the club finishes with North, the clearer makes the contract. The club finishes with South. When North wins the supposed ace of hearts, he plays a club to South's king, and South puts the spade through. So that's why.
Not to play diamonds.
Oh, yes, okay. So you mean, yeah, so you might as well.
Yes, but if it comes down to a spade guess,
Anyway.
That's why it's right to take the club finish.
yeah, I see your point, Barnet. But if it comes to a spade guess eventually, you may get that right. I mean, North might have led a spade from the queen, but never from the ace.
Defense will actually help the clearer guess.
Correct, I agree with
Spade
that.
layout.
Well, that's a record number of undos, I would say.
Anyway, it's the same lead in the other room, a club. The same contract. In the other room, the clearer
Yes,
rose with the ace of clubs.
Well,
Yes, you're right. I mean, taking the club finish is definitely right. I mean, the only time it might lose, I suppose, is when you run into a club rough or something. If the lead is a singleton, and then sometimes you might have been better not to take it if North's got both the major aces. But that's a pretty unlikely layout.
In the other room, the lead was the 7 of clubs, not the 5 of clubs. Perhaps that just persuaded the clearer to rise, because the 7 appeared to be a high card.
right, board 5.
So this is definitely not a strong club.
Seems to be able to make 11
So,
spades.
Interesting that South didn't do anything in third seat there. I would think some South will with such a good suit, even at this vulnerability. I mean, he did have a natural 2 club opener available, which
Try a save.
perhaps some very aggressive strong clubbers might go for. And some people would certainly bid 3 clubs on it over 2 spades, I think.
Is this really true? Swedes played 4 hearts. They make it? No, wait a minute. Yeah. No, they didn't. That's what it says.
so this will be pretty quick.
It's so hard to get a completely flat board.
Should expect this to be one.
So the clearer guessed spades right in the other room, went up with the ace of clubs, and when South finally played a spade through the king-jack, he played the jack, so made his contract.
Yeah, for that reason, presumably, that North might have led a spade if he had the queen.
He's also playing for split aces, ace of ace of hearts in the south hand, ace of spades in the north hand. That's another reason.
Well, it's not a valid reason. I mean, why is
Yeah,
it more likely? Why is it more likely than the other one has the other ace? Please explain.
So it looks like we're racing.
Well, generally speaking, if you have nothing to go on, a priori, it's more likely that before the cards are dealt, it's more likely that the cards are that the aces are one in one hand and one in the other hand, rather than two in one hand and zero in the other hand.
I don't believe that.
It might be fractionally more likely just because of the sort of vacant places argument, but it's a minuscule factor, I think. I think the only time a more common and reasonable way to play split aces is when you're counting the points and you kind of, the opponents didn't do anything or whatever, and you might then know that no one can have both aces because he would have bid something, but I'm not sure. Just playing for split aces is all that, there's all that much of a strong indication from the start.
So, Barnet, if we did make the contract, how come we don't have a score yet?
There's a score, you see it posted now.
Yeah, it is, yep.
Well, this is a bit of a weird readable. Most people play this as a top heart honour, don't they? Well, some played as a very good hand, but he hasn't got either a top heart honour or a very good hand.
This is standard in America. This redouble. They play it to show 6 to 11 high card points and two hearts. Just the ability. They want to compete in the hand. I play this method. Most of the strong American players are playing this method. 6 to 11 high card points and a doubleton heart.
So it's sort of like a one no trump response, but without the risk of actually having to bid a no trump sort of thing.
Yes.
So, interesting. Double par scores always are. And the recommended lead against the double par score contract is a trump. And Lall duly led one.
So, trump lead. The attractive trump lead.
It's actually quite a good auction though, so it's just a question how they do.
So, the declarer has 4 trump tricks and 2 aces.
Well, the 8 of hearts might grow tall and strong, mightn't it, with the 9 coming down?
Be all there is to it. I don't know whether a heart trick might get established.
I mean, North-South have 5 fairly obvious tricks. Declare is certainly a long way from having 8. Yeah, I don't think Declare can ever really manage it, can he? Because I mean, if he tries to rough hearts in dummy, then North will just be like scoring a second trump trick or something. And his main
He's not
aim
going
is
to
just to
make
make
any roughs
absolutely...
in dummy.
Yeah, okay, so if the defence just keep playing trumps, he can just concede another heart for 1 down, and then he's got the 8 of hearts. So at least that avoids 500.
I think that declare just run 10 of hearts, I believe.
couldn't see it.
We couldn't quite see how the
On the previous
looks
board
like
that
it
we
did
just
find
watched,
yes.
when
It did find a club
the-
and a third
we
try.
saw a cold 4 spades, but
Although
the Americans
now
have
it is
got
possible to
3-no
set an
trump
extra
as a
half
result
set.
of South opening 2 clubs. You suggested that most players would open as they would in the South
So it looks like this is going to be one down.
and with clubs.
Declare making four trumps.
Right, so then West sort of made a takeout double of clubs, and East's going to think about no trumps then, so they're going to miss the 5-3 spade, fair spade, something like that.
It's possible that the 4 of diamonds was interpreted as a suit preference for clubs, which is why he exited with a 5 of clubs and not.
Well, the Bulgarians did open 2 clubs, and after it went... So North actually, they've got the defensive 6 club tricks. North is 9-8 rag of clubs and South Ace Queen Jack 10-6. So when North wins Ace of Spades, if he's going to shift to the 9 of clubs, and declare it is going to go down. So this is a surprising swing that's going to go to Bulgaria.
I would certainly not be happy about never mentioning a suit that good, I have to say. I mean, being it unfavourable vulnerability or not, but obviously sometimes it's going to work out better to pass.
That wasn't best, was it?
No, if he's just ducked that heart without drawing the trump, then of course
Yeah.
the heart, one of the heart tricks gets roughed away.
Well, spectator tells me that a V is missing in Trendafilov. We know, but we can't insert it because the software won't allow more than 10 characters.
I think he had.
And we already used up all of them.
So 1 down, this went 1 down, 200.
No, they're still on board 4 in the.
I'm also asked what our last match today with voice is. I can tell you it is the Bermuda Bowl match between Poland and Italy.
Who's at the table? The other, they should make the other table play at least 4 boards before Joe starts to play.
And some of our listeners may be happy to learn that Larry Cohen will be commentating then.
Four spades does have a ghost of a chance, but it's not.
In the open room of that match.
Or make.
Sort of auction is often difficult to lead against. I mean, North-South have bid their 2 weaker suits and ended up in a no trump.
Did in one
And they've
no
got
trump on the diamond
5
lead,
club
there's
tricks
a
and
lot of
4 spade
tricks.
tricks.
The defence honestly
Right,
lead us.
obviously they might well not get all the clubs.
Tricks for declarer, although have to be some
The
good
defence
guessing
could have
for the
run
suit.
4 hearts and 5 diamonds, and now declarer can run 4 spades and 5 clubs. It's a difficult lead decision. I mean, your partner couldn't bid a spade over a heart, so you can't expect him to have 5 fair spades. I mean, you know he's got some values. But it looks a reasonable enough lead and safe, so it's just a bit unfortunate. I mean, I wonder if he reads the lead as being from something like 3 small, if he might then decide that means he's going to have sort of a balanced hand without any good lead, and he might get the clubs right.
I don't think he's going to take any club finesse here.
So that was 12 unexpected imps to Bulgaria on board 5.
So he's likely to end up with 4 spades and just 2 clubs.
The problem is with the red suits being wide open as they are, you know, if you take the club finesse and it loses, you're gonna go an extra 1 down, 'cause you're probably not going to take another trick. So it might be better just to play for the dropping clubs than 1 down at worst.
Now Bulgaria have obviously had a swing on board 5.
North-South could do much better playing in a black suit. And to play in a black suit, there's plenty of tricks available in clubs, and even in spades. There's a lot of tricks available in spades, with the spades breaking 3-3.
Yes, it's often said of the
see
weak
all
no trump that it... So I was going to say, people often say of the weak no trump that it tends to bury everyone's fits. It buries the opening side's fits, but also the defending side, and that can either be good or bad. And the same thing's true of these short minor openings very often as well. These prepared clubs and precision club style 1 diamond bids is that nobody actually bids the suit they've got, and you end up in no trumps, and you can sometimes gain by it and sometimes you lose by it.
Now Barnet, would you like to be in 6 clubs here?
Possible slam.
Not many losers. Just checking, there's enough. It looks as if there's enough winners. It looks as if there's a lot of roughs available.
8 trump tricks.
Yeah, I mean the diamond finesse works, all the diamond queen coming down, all the ace of spades coming down. Or you might end up taking the roughing half finesse. I mean, I'd have thought whatever you ended up trying for would work, wouldn't it?
So you see this vulnerability, non-vulnerable. 1 club is either 15 plus balanced, or clubs, or any game forcing hand.
It's one of these hands where if they did get to a slam, it would be a mistake.
Nice to have Rado here now. 2 diamonds, 5 or more spades. Game forcing.
Or a diamond.
If they do get to 6 clubs, North has to avoid leading. Certainly has to avoid leading the ace.
This would be a club lead.
Ace of spades.
Right, now,
She
Yeah,
probably.
I think they get them. Don't you think 4 heart splinter is the key to the slam now?
Yes.
we're just having a look to see what East 2 diamond response meant. Game forcing with 5 spades certainly matches the hand, but in which case...
Oh, obviously it's nice.
West is 1
Okay, go on.
So I was going to say West's problem is that, I mean, the only sort of
4 hearts.
cooperative move he can make is a control bid in diamonds, but that would force them to 6 clubs anyway, so he's a bit stuck.
Suits his hand very well.
And also he can't know the partner has 5 card support, which is very important.
Yes, I mean, if you have a big misfit in the side suits, that's okay if you've got a really big trump fit, but
controls, there's 4 controls, but we can't
it's not so good if you haven't.
find it at the moment.
I mean, I don't know what 4-no trumps by West would mean now. I mean, if that says, you know, I've got a diamond control or whatever, obviously that would be perfect, but it's not standard to play that way. And there could be some ethical issues here. I mean, if West takes an incredibly long time to bid 5 clubs, then East sort of... Then if East did bid the slam, I think North-South would have a right to feel a bit aggrieved, but okay, that's not happened, so...
Well, it's not a lay down
Anyway,
slam.
let's
Let's
not,
just say that the North led
say
ace of
play
hearts
by
and
the
shifted
clubs.
to a trump. So that would mean that if playing for roughs, declarer would have 9 club tricks and the ace king of diamonds is 11. So it still needs to get an extra trick. So
Yeah.
in practice, and he can't really play ace king of diamonds and rough a diamond and then go back to that. He'd like to play ace king of diamonds, rough a diamond, and if that doesn't work, take a roughing heart finesse. But he also has to make all it to make all his trumps. So it's everything really works in the hand. If he takes a second trump, then that gives him eight trump tricks, and ace king jack of diamonds are 11. So he can't actually draw the second trump.
So the ace of hearts was
So
led
the
by
slam is
diamonds,
by no
which is
means
strange
a
because
cold
no
slam.
problems
It's just
for
the way the cards happen to be dealt.
declarer here to make 12 tricks.
It's cold.
Yes, obviously trying to rough down the Queen of Diamonds doesn't help you that much because you have to draw trumps to enjoy it. That's why the roughing finesse in hearts is a better bet, because you can combine that with a cross rough. You're probably going to be able to cash the third round of hearts even whilst there are still trumps out. Well, there's still a trump out at least.
He still has 2 trumps in W.
The problem for West
So he
was
still
that he
has
couldn't
clubs and
really
12
cube it
tricks.
4 spades over 4 hearts. You usually don't cube it a shortage in partner's suit, so that would normally promise another if you do. So that's why he settled for 5 clubs, I think.
Slams that depend on a key
4 to 6 must
void
be
where
well swing to the
you're
US.
missing 2 aces but you've got the right void are very
It's
difficult,
a
and where the
almost
void is
level
in
with
partner's
hearts.
suit they're incredibly
Of course,
difficult to
the
get to.
2 diamonds doubled.
So the USA picked up 7 imps for that 200, and the Bulgarians got to 3 no trump and went down 2 tricks. So that was 7 imps to the USA. It looked like a good board in this room for them.
Samantha Dubois had an accident on board 8. They ended up in 5 spades,
This looks like a fairly routine
down 4.
trumps.
Wow.
So that was West bidding his spade void at some point and he's thinking it was natural or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Remembering earlier on in the week, Lall bid just raised 2 no trumps to 3 no trumps on a similar hand to that. It was a little bit worse, but basically it was a hand with 4 hearts and a doubleton. And they went down in 3 no trumps and 4 hearts would have had some play. And he actually posted about that specifically again on the bridge-based forums, and he says he's been taking a bit of sort of joshing about this, about how they keep missing their 4-4 fifths. But he says this is just part of his personal philosophy, is that he always bids 3 no trumps on that sort of hand, and he's convinced it works out better on balance. Not quite sure exactly what factors there are. I mean, he had weak hearts on the previous hand as well as this one, so perhaps that's a factor.
The route to 9 tricks is not clear because
Not an easy hand to play this.
whichever suit you try to develop, there's a danger that that's a suit in which the opponents can establish long tricks.
He expects hearts to break 4-2, the 10 of hearts is some shortage.
So he's
I mean, you
played the
have
king of clubs out of hand.
the problem you almost always have when the auction goes 2 no trumps, 3 no trumps, which is
Well,
that
we'll
you
set up
don't have
4
very
trump
many
tricks
entries
as
to
it
dummy.
is, and with the clubs
You'd like to lead
breaking,
things
it
towards your
gives
hand, but you can't as much as you would like.
still only 8 tricks for declarer with 3 diamonds, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 3 hearts.
It's an interesting line of play, anyway.
There's nothing the defense can attack really. Diamonds. Sorry, a spade is no good. And a diamond won't work. Heart gives the player a chance to set up the suit.
When the 8 of clubs falls on the first round, the player's a little bit happier about continuing clubs from his hand, because now if someone's got something like Jack 8 Doubleton or 10 8 Doubleton.
Yes, it wouldn't be the best.
They're playing extremely fast in this room.
Dummy spot cards become a little bit more important.
So that's his 8th trick. The clearer has his 8th trick. He still has to get his 9th trick.
Does
some might. I don't think any Bulgarian does. What happened here? Eight within hand was right.
So what's he got to play? Hunt the Jack of Spades?
Just if he has to guess the spade.
But he hasn't got an entry to the long heart. Not an easy one. It's still not clear that he's going to make this one. 3 diamonds, 2 clubs.
Yes, he can't force the defence to lead spades for him. He's got
a heart, and this
far too many losers if he tries to throw them in.
Spade guess.
Well, he may reach a position where he can throw East in with the 4th round of diamonds. Or is that too many tricks?
We believe these discards if these discards are right, then the diamonds are now good.
Yes.
If he has a count on the hand, I mean, if he knows the spades were originally 4-3, then he knows the odds are 4-3 in favour of West having any specific card in spades like the Jack. And those odds don't change even if West's discard. Okay, so West discarded a spade now, so even if you now know they're down to 3-3 spades, that doesn't change the odds that West is still more likely to have the Jack.
Well done. Well guessed. That's him home now. So it was 6 imps to the Bulgarians when they made 1-0 trump on the same spade lead that we saw in this room, that the Bulgarian declared very nicely, won it in the dummy and played a ace of clubs and a club and took the club finesse. So perhaps he was guided by the fact that the spades were, he led a spade of nothing, and so Bulgarian got the 5 club tricks and gained 6 imps for his trouble. And the American stopped in 5 clubs in the hand that we thought that at 6 clubs has got some chances.
So a transfer. And
On no trump is 15-17 here. He's added a bit for a fair 5 card suit. Well, I'm not sure it's really worth that, but it's borderline, I suppose.
Gentlemen, if I may interrupt for a minute here. Looks like they're going to finish in this room very, very early. So if you will be kind enough to join me for the Italy match, the Italy against Sweden match, when they're done here in the open room, and we can do some voice there.
very unlikely.
Rather unlikely, but that looks like the only lead which puts 3 hearts in danger.
Yep, can do. I mean, they may slow down here perhaps, but
Not by that much.
they're certainly rattling through them at the moment.
So one of our technicians, Georgi, is going to connect us to that host, hosting the open room of the Italy match. So we should be able to do voice there when done.
Okay.
People might be wondering about the bidding here, in particular West 2 spade bid, but I mean it's quite common expert practice these days. After you transfer partner opens a no trump and you transfer to hearts, you bid 2 spades sort of artificially on any invitational hand. And so that says you've got at least 5 hearts and then some sort of invitational hand. And so 3 hearts there by East just said, okay, you know, I've got 3 hearts, but I've got a load of rubbish, so don't want to play a game. That means that, you know, if West had bid something else, like if West had bid 3 clubs or something over 2 hearts, that would have been game forcing.
We all play it, don't we?
You can play this way because if you actually had 4 spades and 5 hearts, you would not begin with a transfer. You'd begin with Stayman and then do something on the next round.
To the Swedish defensive methods, which lead 2nd and 4th best through declarer.
Because the open room is so far ahead and we have no comparisons, we're going to sort of change the display slightly so that on the far right hand screen we will alternate between showing Venice Cup and Dorsey Bowl scores, and on the left hand screen we'll show the play from the closed room in this match. Remember that in the center screen is the play from the open room.
Italy up by 11 against Sweden, but that board is, you know, the 5 spades down 4. The accident the Italians had, not scored yet, so the scoreline will change in a minute, I suspect.
Yeah.
So after 10 boards, the score, or after 8 boards, the score is USA.
I wonder if Lall has a fit showing jump here available. I'm not sure they'd want to bother having that since 1 diamond isn't necessarily diamonds, but I mean, there's a case for playing something like 2 spades here as showing, you know, 5 spades and 4 diamonds.
Now on the left-hand screen is board 9.
The 1 heart, spades presumably.
Closed room where trumps. That's the
I imagine that if North had rebid 2 no trumps here, I think we've seen this earlier. That would be showing a sort of a 3 diamond rebid with 3 card support for partner. That's quite a common gadget that you can use in a strong club system because you know you're limited as opener to 15 points, so you can't have a natural 2 no trump rebid. So that means that here Lall now knows that his partner's got really good diamonds but no spade fit, and that's actually quite good given that he's got a weak spade suit.
They will do very well to get to 5 diamonds.
Surprise West past the heart.
That
That would have been 2 hearts over 1 heart with the West hand.
Yeah, that certainly looks reasonable, doesn't it?
Well, the North-South cards fit very, very well. So 5 diamonds is just cold.
Not sure I'd want to be passing a heart and then doubling. I mean, that suggests you haven't got heart length, but you've got a high heart for the lead, doesn't it, or something? I mean,
1 diamond, take out double.
Which is exactly what he hasn't got.
1 heart showing spades, and the 3 diamond bid described as you see there.
I'm not sure if 3 hearts by South was showing a stopper and probing for 3 no trumps, was it? Expecting partners with 3 no trumps with a club stop?
In the 3 no trumps we saw declare getting 4 diamond trick because East threw away a diamond. There's diamond 2 lead, and I think.
Jean-Claude, is it possible to adjust the display so that we can see the clubs on
He might now be wondering whether his partner's pass of the double is sort of encouraging for 3 no trumps. In that if North had a hand that, you know, had absolutely nothing in clubs, he might just bid 4 diamonds there.
Tough for Grue to raise.
But
Looking at 3 small hearts.
South hasn't really got that much of a hand, has he?
But you know, racing here, non-vulnerable.
Quite a long way off. I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
he's non-vulnerable.
Not only, wow. I was going to say not only that, being void in partner's suit is normally not a good sign. But here, it's just a dream.
North perhaps here drew some inference from the fact that his partner didn't bid 3 spades after the double of 3 hearts. I mean, if South had particularly strong spades, he might bid 3 spades to emphasise them, saying that, you know, we might want to play in a 5-2 fit or something. So perhaps when South just bids 4 diamonds there, North thinks, okay, you know, my partner's actually got not much wasted in spades.
So do you think they'll finish fast or not, Bill? This took 10 seconds to play.
You can claim the minute the lead appears because he can rough and draw trumps and simply concede. Heart and a club and rough 2 tricks in dummy, even on a vicious 2-0 trump break. So that was a completely legitimate claim at trick 1. It was a slightly sucker double from East. I mean, the indications were that North actually had short spades, so...
So 5 clubs, the only game with a chance here. Takes a diamond guess to make it.
I would think it's quite possible that at a lot of tables and possibly in the other room in this match, North will overcall a heart and warn the opponents out of 3 trumps. But of course West will be opening a strong no trump at most tables, so it's just going to go 1 no trump, 3 no trumps, and straight down on a heart lead.
So this would be fast too, won't it? That just cuts off 5 hearts.
So Grue did very well not to overcall a heart over a club and warn the opponents. I mean, I've seen him make some very, very light overcalls, but perhaps not when he's vulnerable against not when partners are non-passed hand.
It depends the first 5 tricks. Meanwhile, back in the closed room, it's 3 no trumps. Won the king of diamonds in time. He's now cashed the 13th heart and thrown a spade.
Yeah, if they defend, if they defend properly, I think he's going down.
I think this might go down because he can play a club to the. That gives it now. He can exit with queen and another diamond.
12 boards in 55 minutes exactly.
He can play a spade to the ace. He can drop the.
Maybe there's some sort of sporting match on in America today that North-South want to watch. I know they're quite keen followers of some sports. I mean, I don't know, is the Super Bowl about to start or something? I'm sort of betraying how much I know about American sport there.
But Bill, not at 8:50 a.m. You expected any sport event to be on?
So the Super Bowl doesn't start at 8:50 a.m. in the morning then? Okay, well that's something I've learned.
No, that's an entry to play another club, right?
Now, West ducks this.
Yeah.
Then Clara can cash the queen.
Oh, he's done
diamonds.
it. He's ducked it.
He's ducked
it. He's called.
If East opens like 5 clubs, does South just double, and how takeout oriented is this? I mean, I suppose you've just sort of got to double with the South hand, but you expect your partner to be passing most of the time on boring balanced hands at this level, don't you?
The spade ace and plays a diamond. It's the same situation. Spade. So, right, I needed to play. What if I win that and play a club?
Well, it may have been easy hands to play in this room, but it doesn't change the fact that most tables are on board 8 or 9 at the moment.
East has opened his 8-card club suit at the 5 level. South counted 3 probable tricks.
Well, he's done it wrong in
doubled.
in this room. He's exited with his diamond. I think he must have thought that East had only 3 diamonds when he threw away that 10.
And he was trying to then play West, you mean?
Yes.
The 3-0 trump we saw Grue play and make by guessing the spade. It turned out to be flat. The Bulgarian player managed to make it without guessing the spade. So he in a complex endgame, he got it right, and that was a flat board. Not everybody will make that 3-0 trump.
Well, we knew that someone was going to be kicking himself after that hand.
Well, this hand is over.
Turns out it's
3 boards to go.
13, 5 clubs has been defeated by 1.
This is Sugar speed.
Carefully, he led the ace of spades.
My God.
When he saw the dummy, he was pleased he hadn't.
Chagas from Brazil holds the BBO record for fast play.
Down.
He once completed 16 boards in 1 hour and 4 minutes.
Board 10 in the closed room, that's on the left, was 3 hearts defeated by 1 in the open room. In the closed room, they've just stopped in 2
East
hearts.
may open 2 hearts here. They play fairly aggressive weak 2s.
A small swing.
This isn't
I don't think this board will be
specialised
so
sort of-
quick. We're looking at the spade.
Do you think North-South will get in here, Barnet? I don't.
East has
Well,
opened
North will
2
certainly
hearts.
double 2 hearts if it comes round to him. Whether he'll double 2 hearts, 3 hearts, I don't know.
Oh,
Okay, 2-no trumps.
I didn't expect Karainov to pass 2 hearts.
Natural weak, maybe 5 cards.
And North balance with 2-no trumps. Quite aggressive.
So South did well here in a way that he didn't look for spades, because if he had looked for spades, he would end up in trouble. There's this idea of playing no trump with balanced hands, which I happen to agree with. Well, that with balanced hands, it's often better to be playing in no trump than even in a 5-3 fit.
So he's going 1 down.
It looks like he's going, yes,
Only 1
8
down.
tricks only.
Well, he has
South
8
knows his
tricks
hands
now.
limited and per game.
He also knows the hearts are 5-3 if they play fourth best leads. There's
Means
only
they would make many.
1 smaller heart out, which is the 3. I mean, only 1 smaller heart out apart from the 3, which is the 2. So he knows that hearts are 5-3, which means he knows he can't
Just drop
shut the hearts out
hearts do you make?
just by losing the lead to West.
3.
There's no real chance.
I
I mean, he has 8 tricks. He can take 8 tricks via the club finesse, but there's no hope of a 9th.
No, I mean,
2 down would be
presumably he'll just sort of run the
If-
ace of spades or something.
No. You know,
probably win the heart queen and
Because-
finesse clubs.
Hold the key down, Barnet.
South played North for more than 13 high card points.
Yeah, wouldn't everyone? Shouldn't 2-no trump in this position have full value?
Something that I don't know that it's all that clear what the sort of universal rule is for that. I mean, in general, you play that you can, you know, your balancing bids are a little bit lighter, but how light can a balancing 2-no trump overcall of a weak 2 be? I mean, I would instinctively think it can be a bit weaker, but not much weaker, because it's just risky. So, you know, you might do it on 14 or so, up to about 16 or 17. I mean, certainly auctions that start with somebody opening a weak 2 and somebody overcalling 2 no trumps very often end up in 3 no trumps on not many points, because the responder to the 2 no trump bid often has something like an 8 can, a 7 can, no way to invite, and they just tend to bid game.
Roll is see
and
that
so you can
Poland
end up with, you know, 15
Poland
opposite
has a
8,
very
and a lot, or,
substantial lead after 9
you know,
boards against
15
USA
opposite
0.
7, stuff like that, and you tend to end up in 3-no trumps on them.
Brings Poland a bit closer to a qualifying position. In fact, 9th, 10th and 11th are all on an equal score at the moment, projected, with respectively behind them. So it's very, very
So board 8 finally in the Italy-Sweden match,
qualifying position.
where the Italians had that accident in one room. Sweden made 3-no trumps in the other room,
Roland has an easy
so
match to play also.
gained 12 imps, and Sweden up by 1 now.
Okay, Iceland, very easy. So 3 hearts as we
The penultimate board of the match. I'm a bit slow here. 1 hour and 8 minutes now. Did you ever try that in your life?
Not quite.
So what a trump would have been 15 to 17 in third.
Wenceslas topside, so that is safe. Declarer has 3 hearts, 1 spade, 1 diamond. And will struggle to make this, well, mind you, he doesn't struggle. He never seems to struggle.
Yeah, standard to duck this, hoping that West will continue the suit. In that case, he would run into the bath coupe, so to speak. Variation of the bath coupe.
So the clear only has 6 winners here. We can see a spade, 3 hearts is 4, 2 diamonds is 6. So he has to find a 7th trick.
averaging 6.
The defence look as if they can make
Very well afford the 10.
perhaps 3 spades and 2 diamonds is 5 and 2 clubs is 7. It's a question of whether they can take them all. So now declarer is going to make a club trick if he plays low, and that should be his 7th trick. So the defence of 3 spade tricks, and they're going to establish 2 club tricks as 5. So declarer actually can't get his long diamond trick, because so the defence actually should be able to get their 7 tricks before declarer gets his 7 tricks. They have to play a club to knock out the king,
Are going to have to be a little bit careful.
and now declarer only has 3 heart tricks, and 1 spade trick's 4, and 1 diamond trick's 5, and 1 club trick's 6. So providing the defence knock out the club, there the defence should be in charge, and it will go down 1.
USA1 in a spot of trouble in the match against Poland. 0-35 after 9 boards.
Now it's making
There's 7 tricks
4,
now.
5, 6, 7.
Poland, although they're not doing well, are still a very dangerous team.
Would be nice to know how
The speed at which the play goes there in the open.
And USA1 just got the first points, 5 of them. So it's 5-35 now.
In the closed room, the 5 diamonds double trumps, which I should imagine South will pass.
it works, but it doesn't get
The interesting board we watched here, in 5 diamonds doubled. The auction went the same way up until 3 hearts when West doubled. So it was 1 diamond double and South bid spades. West passed, North bid 3 diamonds, South bid 3 hearts, and West doubled with his jack to 5. Now North bid 3 no trump, and South bid 4 diamonds. So effectively North has got the same decision and is thinking over 4 diamonds what to do.
In the open room, there's interesting.
We watched American North bid 5 diamonds and was doubled, and the contract was called for 550.
So, on the last board already. Thanks very much to our operator, Roland in the Netherlands, to my co-commentators Barnet and Bill, to our colleagues doing the written commentary, Jeffrey, Hassan, Henry, and a few more. And thanks to all listeners for coming this afternoon. If you want more voice, we will switch to the Sweden-Italy match, and we'll have voice in the open room of that match when this hand is complete.
Obviously 6 clubs is better than 6 no trumps here because you protect the King of Diamonds. I mean, North will know that. I mean, 4 clubs might be key carding clubs or something.
Also, the thing is, you can set up the 5th long spade for actually the 12th trick, because you only have 6 club tricks. 2 hearts is 8, 3 spades is 11. So you need to rough the spade good, and that provides you with the 12th trick. You use the King of Hearts for the entry.
I mean, the 6 no
Six no
trumps
trumps
looking
probably
at
going to
arguably a
go
12 trick anyway, because you'd
going-
need that, but... I mean, it's interesting how you should play 6 no trumps, because you wouldn't want to test the 3-3 spades and then fall back on leading the diamond up in case that might set up a spade for West to go with his ace of diamonds, so it's sort of non-trivial. Obviously 6 clubs is by far the superior contract.
Oh yes indeed. And if you're going to play in 6 no trumps, it has to be by North.
4 imps to
They
America
can't-
when
can't
Bulgaria...
do that.
Rapidity to 6 clubs, strong club, spade and
Bulgaria bid 5 diamonds.
So well done North
undoubled.
South to get to 6 clubs.
2 clubs natural.
Undoubled, Bulgaria bid 5 diamonds, undoubled, so that was 4 imps to America. $29.28 at the moment, 1 imp of a difference.
So thanks everyone. Done here, and we are moving to the open room of Sweden versus Italy.
Finished about an hour.
Bye for now.